2, 1, whenever you're ready.
Hello, I'm Jerry Milenbach, a former contestant of Wheel of Fortune and on season 37. I'm here with Jessie Rebhan, and I will be interviewing her. She is a fan favorite, so she's one of the few that have been on twice on Wheel of Fortune. This amazing tournament allows us to gather. We are at the Spin and Win tournament for 2023 here at Oyo Casino. And first off, Jessie,
yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So, first question, tell me a little bit about yourself for those of the audience that hasn't seen you.
Okay, so born and raised in Miami, Florida. I've always been a huge game show fan, always watched with the family. Like, I was actually born the year that Wheel of Fortune started with Pat and Vanna in '83, so I think it was like meant to be that I was on the show. I always said I would be on the show. I'm a teacher, I have 3 kids, and I am a self-proclaimed game show nerd.
That's amazing. I mean, to being a part of our eclectic family, to have someone who is like that, it's awesome. So with that said, how has being a contestant on Wheel of Fortune impacted your life?
So, I mean, it may sound kind of cheesy, but I feel like it's one of these things that, you know, like you can really accomplish whatever you put your mind to. I mean, I think everyone that's here, like we see like what an awesome group of people this is, that if you have the determination and will and try, and everybody like, you know, did such a good job with their auditions to get on the show. Like with my students, I always told them this is something that I really wanted to do, and I set my mind to it and was able to get on the show. And then it's kind of changed my life, just because now like game shows have kind of become who I am. Like, and everyone asks about it, and I love like giving advice to other people that want to audition for this show or others. And it was just so fun, and winning that money helped a lot with my family too.
I definitely emphasize with that, being a former contestant, it's like you are able to add that personal touch to someone who's kind of hesitant. I'm never ever going to get on.
Right.
You won't know if you don't try. So
exactly.
Certainly that's definitely a good answer for that. What are some of your first thoughts when you heard about why we're here, basically about the Wheel of Fortune Spin and Win tournament? What were your first thoughts about that?
I was so excited just to get to meet everybody in person. Like we have, you know, formed a Facebook group where we've got to meet all of us that have like this similar mentality about game shows and wheel, and share our experience, because it's people that haven't been on the show kind of don't really understand like the bond that we've created with the people on our tape days and getting to share those experiences. So getting to meet everybody in person has been really cool.
It is, and that's certainly going on with that. Yes, you meet the people on your tape days, you keep in touch with them. But when you do join the group, when you are a part of things like this, we all get that in-person touch versus just typing on Facebook or typing on whatever emails. I think this actually adds to this experience personally. You may have kind of answered a little bit of this, but what is your biggest takeaway from either this tournament so far that you've experienced or your 2 episodes? What's kind of the biggest takeaway from that?
I mean, so I always knew that Wheel of Fortune was something that is like a family, like people sit down and watch it as a family all the time. But like I was blown away with the response that I got after being on the first time. I mean, I guess being in a school, like having all the students watch, like it was just so cool. The response back from them after them watching, and I mean, the amount of kids that wanted me to give them money, I'm like, that's not going to happen. But it's just, I kind of lost, sorry, I don't know if we can edit this. I lost what your question was again. My biggest take back from...
The biggest, basically it's the biggest takeaway from either the tournament or your 2 episodes. So like, what was your biggest takeaway walking back home?
Okay.
What did you kind of get from that?
Okay. So I would say my biggest takeaway just from being a part of this whole thing is it's so cool to see how many people like actually watch Wheel of Fortune, how many people came up to me after the fact, and like after my bonus round went viral, like it was really cool getting to share that experience with people and, you know, inspire them to come on. I've had a lot of people that, you know, have wanted advice, but like for me to tell them, look, do it, or whether it's this show or another show, like to inspire other people to try to achieve their goals of being on a game show or just anything in general, especially being a teacher, to show that students like this was something I always wanted to do, especially those kids that I had while I was going through audition process, to see it actually come to fruition and them see that I accomplished the goal was really cool.
And I have to go back to her definite bonus round at that time. For those wheel watchers, you probably already know, but the first one, tell the audience what that bonus round puzzle was.
Okay, so I make it to the bonus round. I get up there, I ask to do the category, what are you doing? Because sometimes it's, to me, I felt like it's a little bit more logical than a phrase or a thing, because you can kind of hone in a little bit. And after guessing my additional letters, all that was up there was like 4 random letters in the 3 words. And based on what was called, I was able to kind of, after all my practice, I learned all my letter combinations to figure out the last word was juicer. And then I'm like, juicer, what do you do with the juicer? I don't have a juicer, so I need to buy one, buying a juicer. And that's kind of was my thought process, but I really don't know where it came from. But solving that puzzle like changed my life, because that was like the whole like beginning of becoming like Wheel of Fortune famous, I guess you would say.
Perfect. And going into the last question that we have here for you today, since you are a fan favorite and you've been on twice, first, was it which years were they in?
So the first one aired in February of 2020, and then the second one just aired in May of 2023.
Sounds perfect. So it's 3 years apart. And with that, because I was right after, I was in March of 2020 and it aired in April 2020. So those 3 years, what would you say was a difference between the two? You're one of very few people, if anything, it was 2 weeks or 1 week, 15 to 30 people that's ever been on the show twice, unless there was a blunder that had a re-air.
Right.
What was there? Was there ever a difference between the two? Cher, did you have more fun on either one?
Well, I mean, obviously, I won more on the first, so you could say I had more fun in that. But the experience itself was really cool the second time, because I kind of had already met the fan favorites through our group. Like getting to know Emil in person was so cool. And we were kind of all like relaxed. I mean, a nervous relax. Like it was the same adrenaline that I had the first time. And then also knowing that I was going to go up against some of the best contestants. But, like we all kind of like just knew if we did our thing. And as it turned out, in my show, Kellen and I had both already won a good amount of money. And the woman who won, Dr. Rika, the first time she had spun bankrupt like every time. So we were actually really happy for her that she won. I mean, as like people probably think, yeah, right, you'd want to win. But like I still got to win some more money, experience the whole thing again. And then she was able to, redeem herself. So it was a really cool experience getting to go back. So it was a lot of fun.
That's great. And I want to say thank you. This has been an honor to actually now meet you in person, to be able to interview you, be the first one. And I want to thank you, and I hope you do well at this tournament.
Yes, I got to get my fingers ready.
That's right. You will definitely do it. And thank you guys very much.